Hello. What I'd like to show you today is how we can use this Astra sample application, the Astra TikTok example, and how we can use WebStorm as the IDE where we do all of the database interaction and work within the IDE itself, and how we can in fact even run this application directly out of WebStorm. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get the URL here for this repository. And I'm going to go over to WebStorm. And we're going to use that same URL. And we're going to clone it to my local machine. Okay, so now we've got this local. Let's look at building up the infrastructure we need in Astra to support this sample data that we're going to upload. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the Astra Explorer here on the left. And since this is the first time I'm using this, I need to have a token. And that capability is built in within the it's actually built in here within the IDE. So I'm going to go ahead and get that token. It's going to prompt me to either log in or sign up. I've already signed up, so I'm just going to go ahead and log in via GitHub. Code. Okay, so it's telling me that it's going to create a database administrator token in this config file. So I'm going to go ahead and agree to that and generate the token. And that token is required. These profiles are required to access any of the Astra APIs. So it looks like here I have a few existing APIs, excuse me, a few existing databases, and I'm going to go ahead and create one now here for this demo. So I'm going to create a database called TikTok and a key space or namespace also called TikTok. I'm going to create that on AWS within the US West 2 region. Okay, so I can see that the database is now pending creation. And while it's doing that, I'm going to, using WebStorm, set up the things that are needed to run this application here locally. So the first thing that I'm going to do, like most JavaScript applications, is I'm going to install the dependencies. And now I've got both the dependencies being installed at the same time that the database is being created. So the next thing I need to do here is the application itself also needs to use those credentials to be able to query the Astra database and get these posts from it. So the IDE has one method of doing it, and the sample app uses an environment file to do that. So let's go ahead and make that step here of creating the .env file that the app itself will use. Okay. And we know that we just entered this one, US West 2. The key space we also put in was TikTok. And the application token, we can actually go ahead and cut and paste that from the config file that was just created here with the Astra plugin for WebStorm. So I'll go ahead and place that in here. And the only thing that we need to go retrieve now is going to be the Astra database ID. So we can get that here. We can see that the database has been created and the namespace. We're going to go ahead and we're actually just going to go into the Astra console and get that here. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy that. And paste it right there. Okay. So right now we should have everything that we need to be able to run this example application locally, except that there's no data. So to fix that, let's go ahead here and create a collection. We're going to create the collection. We're going to call it TikTok Posts, which is the collection name that the application is going to expect in the JavaScript code. So we're going to go ahead and create that. Okay, we've created the new collection, and now I'm just going to reload the profiles here, and I have some sample data in a JSON file. It's actually as a JSON array, and one of the features that the Astra plugin for WebStorm lets you do is to take a sample bit of JSON code and update it or upload it to a collection. So we can see here we've got the TikTok database, the TikTok key space, and then we're going to upload it to that collection. So I'm just going to go ahead and send that sample data up. Okay, that's finished. And we can verify this now here. We'll close that sample data. Close some of these other files too. And if we look at the table, we look at the collection for this. This is what the capability that the plugin lets you do. So the plugin actually is now fetching this data from the Astra database real time. We can page through it one at a time, and then we can look actually up to 20 at a time, and we can see here that this breadcrumb shows us that we're in the database, the key space, and then that collection. So let's just go look at those posts. At this point, we're pretty confident that we can run the sample application. So using WebStorm, we're going to say, show me the npm scripts. And we're going to run the dev scripts, which is going to run the application locally. And as this gets all set up here, it'll then open up a browser that should point us to those posts and to the app. Okay, so there we go. Here's the React app that is now serving content from Astra and these posts. And the next thing that I want to show with this is the ability to use the plugin and the capabilities of the plugin as a document editor. So let's say we want to change some of the things in this first post here. We can go ahead back to WebStorm, and here we see the data. That's that one post that matches up. So let's go ahead and just click Edit. This is going to open up into a dedicated editor, and we can say, I don't know, what is that? Empty bowl. That was in the picture. Let's say we want to update the name here, for example, and let's just make those two changes. And we're going to go ahead and now just send this back to the remote collection. So we're just going to click Update. That's all set. And now if we go back to the web app itself, we should be able just to refresh this, and we can see that the data has been updated, and so it's live, coming back from Astra with those changes that we made. So this highlights that all the capabilities of basically being able to upload some data within the plugin, to be able to browse the whole collections within the plugin, to search for data within them, and then actually to edit individual records is possible, all from within WebStorm itself. So again, we've shown that we're able to take a sample application here, in this case the TikTok sample application, and everything about the database administration, creating the database, setting up the collection. In fact, I'll go ahead and actually even just delete this to clean up here. Can all be done from within the plugin itself. Go ahead and stop the application, and that completes the demo. Thank you.